What's going on, everybody? Good morning, happy Thursday. So today we have a Freightliner Cascadia. We got some lights after treatment. It is a 2018, 2019, same thing, very similar. It looks like it's going to be a DD13, and customer says he's got a bunch of lights. So from what I can tell, he's got a check engine light, a mill light, and this, let's see, it's going to connect, it's going to identify what we got going here. 2019, there we go, DD13 with an automatic transmission. We've got a bunch of codes. Let's quickly look and see what we got and go from there and see what we're gonna do to protect this thing here. DOC temperature drift, inlet high or outlet low. DOC outlet temperature response error. So it's also gonna give us the DEF inducement lamp, DEF inducement check engine light. We have a few other old codes. So what I'm gonna do right now, just for kind of shits and giggles, guys, is I'm gonna go ahead and start the truck. Right now my temperature is at 189. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna fire it up. Let's see what we have. And what I wanna do is I'm gonna monitor the DEF system. Okay, let's just kind of take a quick look at it and see what's going on, see what the temperatures are gonna tell us. DOC in, DOC out, DPF. So we're gonna check that out. We're gonna look at the pressure, make sure we have no pressure issues. I'm gonna click on start, click on yes, and we're gonna do a quick little regen, and I'm gonna show you what to look for, or let's see what we find. Okay guys, so we're only a few minutes in, and the first thing I'm gonna notice is right here. Take a look at that. DOC in, 500 and climbing. DOC out, which is the middle sensor, 145. That's not possible because look at the outlet, 338. We have something going on here in the center. Either we have a bad sensor, possible, or we have something going on internally in the filter itself. So for now, there's really no sense in going forward because again, it's gonna trigger these codes. See how they're already active? DOC outlet temperature, response error. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna go ahead and abort the regen. There's no sense in going any further. Let's go take a look at the other side and see what we find. I may have to pull the fairing out just to get a better look at things. So here is, this shit's got to come out because I've got to look at the sensors that are here. So your DOC inlet temperature will be here, DOC outlet here, and your DPF. So we're going to look here in the center and see what's going on. That temperature is way too low compared to the inlet and compared to the DPF outlet. So let's pull this shit out. Let's take a look. Maybe that sensor is disconnected. Maybe that sensor is damaged. I don't know yet, but we're gonna take a quick look at it. Okay guys, so I already explained what I'm gonna do next. I just wanted to show you this right now. Well, it's actually a lot quieter and I don't have the engine running and I'm not doing a regen. So DOC inlet 475, and it's gonna just start dropping because obviously it's not doing a regen and there's no engine on. 156, 300. So if you can see where that dip, that's not, you should never have that kind of dip. Unless you have a bad sensor, number one, or there's something internally going on with the one box over there. I won't know for sure till I take it apart. I got to get authorization to proceed, but at the very least what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the passenger side fairing so I can gain access to the one box and take a look. Maybe the sensor is just damaged or bent. I may have to pull the sensor out and put a new sensor in just to go from there and test. I don't know. There's a couple things I got to do, but again, I got to get authorization from the customer before I proceed any further. So again, take a look at that. Obviously there's something here, abnormality, and that will definitely trigger DOC temperature. Okay, inlet high, outlet low. Obviously we can see that there. Response on the outlet, and that's going to trigger a bunch of other shit there. So just to give you guys a heads up where we're going to start, let me start taking this thing apart and let's see what we find and go from there. Okay guys, we are back. So what I'm going to do, this is the Cascadia with the temperature sensor that's out of sync. So either we have a bad sensor, I'm going to show you where right now, but I'm going to do is take off these side steps, take off this little fairing. I'm going to show you which sensor to replace. If the sensor comes out damaged, then we know there's a bigger problem in the one box, okay? But again, sensor, we're gonna start there, start with the easy stuff, low-hanging fruit, and go from there. So again, guys, passenger side, we're gonna take off the top step, bottom step, plastic out of the way, and then we're gonna see what we got going on. Okay, guys, so this is a first. I've never seen this before. Just pulled out the fairing, just pulled out the little side step, and here are the sensors. Let me quickly give you the rundown on the sensors and how this thing is set up. So this is your DOC inlet. This is a pressure tube, DOC pressure. Don't worry about this one right now. DOC inlet, DOC outlet. Look at that, it's missing. Look where we found it, right here on the side. So I don't really know what's going on here. I'm gonna install a new one anyway. I'm not gonna take a chance with this old one. And there is your DPF outlet. So I'm gonna put a new sensor in. I'm gonna test it all out and see what we find and go from there. So definitely some funny business there. So I'll keep you all posted. First thing first, what I'm gonna do is, the sensor's already been removed. I don't see any issues there with the threads. That's a good thing. This is our new sensor. Okay, picked that up this morning from Valley Power Systems over there in City of Industry. I've told you guys about them many times, and there is the part number, Apple 68054-02117. Okay, that is your DOC Outlet Temp sensor. So there's our brand new sensor. I'm gonna put a little bit of the anti-seize lube on that, not too much, just a little bit to kind of help it out and make sure nothing gets locked in there. I am definitely gonna take the old one out. You can see it's gonna be down there. Just kind of follow that along. So let me put the phone down, let me start working, and I'll show you guys what I do as we go from there. So I'll keep you guys posted. All right, guys, so I'm gonna try to show you how to take the sensor out. Very, very simple. So here is our old sensor. Just follow that harness down to the lead. You're gonna have these little clips that are here. You're gonna see that. With your finger, you should just literally lift that up. That's just gonna expose the harness there. It is gonna have this little, see that right there? This tab's gonna have to go up and outwards. That's just a little release or a clip. Let's see if I can record that and do it all at the same time. Hold on here. Hold on, probably not. No. All right, I gotta put the phone down because I gotta hold it, and I'm gonna simply push this little tab. Okay, let me show you on the new one. It'll help out a lot more. Ah, fuck, it's not gonna show you. Anyway, that tab, the way that's designed, there we go. It's gonna release and then let you slide the plug out, put the new one back in, and go from there, guys. So let me put this down for a second, and we'll show you guys what else we do. Okay, guys, so I had to put the phone down in order to show, well, in order to actually slide that little release over. So if you see this little white tab, that's now exposed. It means it's unlocked. You're gonna push this little button down on the other end. You're gonna hear a click, an audible. There you go. So hold that down, separate the sensor. Again, I gotta put the phone back down. We're gonna reconnect it. We're gonna install the new sensor back into its place. Connect everything. I'm not gonna put the fairing back on yet because what I wanna do is get the laptop on there. I wanna get it hooked up, and I wanna see why somebody decided just to pull this out and go from there. I don't quite know the reason for that. It makes zero sense to me, but that would explain why the temperature here was at 5 and some change, and over here was 100, and over there was 300. So that would explain the variance. But like I said, don't know why, but let's figure this out, put it all back together, and start guys. So some of you guys say, hey, you don't show anything in your videos. Sometimes it's kind of hard to set the shot up and go from there. So get your sensor in, and you're just gonna simply thread it in there with your fingers. This one, there we go. You're gonna need your wrench. In this case, it's gonna be a 17 mil, and we'll go from there, guys. So stand by. Let's go ahead and get that thing in there, baby. Still loose. It will bottom out. When it bottoms out, this sensor will not wiggle around. It'll actually be kind of fixed like this one here. So keep going. Again, once it bottoms out, if you have an issue with the threads, then it will definitely not bottom out, and you'll still have some issues there. So again, we're gonna tighten it down all the way. I'm gonna go ahead and secure this, connect it, plug in the computer, and show you guys, let's see what the next steps are. Okay, guys, so we are back. We have everything connected. Yes, we still have a malfunction light. Yes, we still have a check engine light. Let me just see, these buttons are really stuck here, the ones that help you navigate through the screen. Let's see here. There it is. So we're gonna go back, and it's just gonna tell us after treatment problem, power and limited, and speed limited. So we definitely have a bit of a derate. And the only way to really fix that is to fix the problem. So let's see what we're gonna have to do right now. We are gonna have, come on. I wanna show you guys the code so you can see what the fault codes are. So we have the DEF inducement, def lamp, check engine light, lamp. DOC temperature drift, inlet high, outlet low. Obviously we know that, and now we understand why. DOC outlet temperature response error. So the only way I think we're going to fix this is by doing a parked regen. So let's go ahead and start this bad boy up. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my DPF and look at our temperature right now for coolant, 135. So let's go ahead and do the regen. Let's see what the temperatures are going to come up to now and go from there. You can actually see already a change there, so just by installing it there. So anyway, let's fire it up. Make sure it's in neutral. Yes, it is. Let's go. And also, before you do any regens, guys, make sure you have enough fuel. Okay, a lot of guys want to run it on the low or E. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Avoid the headache. Save yourself the problems. So again, you're going to go to your service routines, DPF, regen, start. It's going to give you a yes or no. Make sure you click on the correct one. Click on yes, and it should start doing a regen. Okay, it's going to warm up. Okay. And what I like to do is I like to verify that the Jake brakes are at 100%. It does it on its own. There's nothing you need to do. Just simply monitor, make sure that you have your temperatures are good, make sure everything is working the way it should, and I think we'll be fine. So check that out. DOC in, DOC out, 200, 200. Remember, these two will always mirror each other. They'll be very, very close, slight variance, but again, very close. That's what we want. So if I'm not mistaken, the only way to fix this, to get rid of this shit, is by doing a park regen correctly. So let's do a regen. It's 325 or 324, but I'm gonna round it up to 325. Let's set a timer. We'll come back and check it out in a few minutes and see what's going on. Okay guys, so again, still got a long way to go. It's only 324 when we started. It is now 333, so almost 10 minutes, but look at the temperatures. Beautiful, beautiful. This is a little, I don't know what's going on here, but this should be catching up pretty soon. I know the dosing is working. These codes, again, to my knowledge, will stay active until the regen is successful. So for now, I just want to show you guys temperatures here, how they are rising. This one is always last, but little by little, again, it's the tail and it seems to follow the DOC outlet. So stand by, don't be too alarmed. Pressures are good. Let's take a look really quick at the SCR system. Okay, inlet is still green, outlet is red. It will change eventually, don't worry about that. And then we're gonna start seeing some efficiency. But again, we're only about 10 minutes in, so stand by, guys. Don't panic yet, and don't worry. Okay guys, we are back. What I want to show you, and this is only after a few minutes, these lights went ahead and became inactive on their own, right? DOC outlet temperature response error. Now the only one that I'm showing here, DOC temperature drift, inlet high, outlet low, that should go inactive on its own. But again, let me switch my screens here again. I'm gonna go back to my DPF system. 324, I mean, Jesus, so what is that, like 15 minutes, maybe? But look at the temperatures, beautiful, 777, 987, 920. Again, this is the tail, this will always follow this guy. This is the leader as far as the temperature high goes. This should maintain around here. If it dips or if it increases, then something's going on that filter itself. But for now, I love the way this looks.
Yeah, DOC temperature, that should go inactive once the regen is complete. That's my guess on that one, I'll be honest with you guys. Some of these things work really weird, and I don't understand why they're set up that way. However, again, that will become active. That usually takes about 20, 25 minutes before this switches over. That's more of a heat thing, in my opinion. And then we're going to start seeing the efficiency numbers change, which is good. That's what we want. So I wanted to show you guys that. Take a look at the gas. So the only light I have right now is going to be the no light, right? No function indicator. Active, 0. And then that's just to let you know, hey, this thing is hot, so be careful there. That's about it. So just keeping you guys posted. I'll show you guys more as.
Okay guys, we are back. We are still doing our regen just to verify temperatures. And one of the things it says to do is to do a low temp after treatment device. Pretty much a regen, it's a routine check. And you just simply follow the steps. So it says, are they within a certain temperature? Yes, no, proceed, proceed, proceed. You may have to replace the inlet temperature, but in this case, the DOC outlet temperature has been replaced. The codes currently are inactive, which is a good thing. Let me go back over here to service routines. Look at our temperatures, beautiful, beautiful temperatures. Let's take a look at the SCR. Right now, our NOx efficiency, that's our inlet, parts per million. PPM is 436, outlet is -9. this number will convert, and that should get us a pretty high efficiency rate, probably at about 99-95% efficiency rate. So for now, I'm just gonna let it keep running. Let's see. Okay guys, so just over 20 minutes right now into the park regen. Look at the NOx efficiency, that's beautiful. 99%, 98% NOx efficiency. I love that, love to see that. Right now our temperatures are 783 on the in. On the DOC out is 993 and 932. Again, this one always trails this guy. This guy's the leader when it comes to temperatures rising. Our pressures are really good. So I'm just gonna let this go ahead and do a regen complete. It's gonna take about another 20, 25 minutes. So it should be about 45 minutes total. And that's pretty much it, guys. So again, hopefully if you guys have a code like this where you have a DOC temperature drifting error, something like that, take a look. Again, I've never seen that before where the sensor was actually removed and left on the outside. That's a little fishy, but hey, you know, I don't know what to say about that. But if the sensor is reading incorrectly, sometimes you just gotta replace it. So just to give you a little heads up on that, that's pretty much it, guys. So I'm gonna finish this up. There's no need for to drag this video out even longer. If for any reason, guys, you have any questions, as always, hit me up. I try to get back to you as soon as possible. I ask for two things. If you can, like, subscribe, thumbs up, share. Let people know, hey, this is a channel. If you guys like it, I'm here to help you guys as best I can. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.